So whether you'd like to be seated or whether you'd like to lie yourself right down on your back or any other supportive position. And perhaps gently closing your eyes. And know that as you do close your eyes, at any point, if you want to reopen your eyes, of course you can. But perhaps as you close your eyes, it might be a signal to your nervous system that you're very safe. That it's safe to close your eyes. It's safe to turn your awareness to the inside. So you might become aware of the places where your body is connecting to the floor. Noticing all those places, perhaps feeling heavy where those places connect to the ground. Inviting in a feeling of softness. So you might like to soften your face, loosen your jaw, soften at the backs of your eyes, soften your throat, your chest, your belly. Checking in with how your body is feeling this morning. And you might start to become aware of your breath. Perhaps noticing your breath traveling in and out through your nose. Perhaps noticing the sensation of your breath inside your throat. Perhaps noticing your rib cage rising and falling with your breath. Or perhaps noticing your abdomen rising and falling with your breath. So as you begin to tune in more to your breath and your body and how your body is connecting to the ground, you might even notice that you've started to slow down a little bit with the thinking. And there's no right or wrong, so if you don't notice any slowness starting to happen, that's fine too. But you might start to notice just tiny little pauses happening in between thoughts. We're starting to switch more into the felt sense. Letting go, even if it's just a little bit, of the thinking mind and starting to tune in more to the felt sense. Sometimes this is referred to as interoception, awareness of the inner body. You might like to start to practice full yoga breath. For full yoga breath, as you breathe in, belly gently rises, then middle chest, then upper chest. When you exhale, then belly lowers, middle chest lowers, and upper chest lowers. So whether you're practicing full yoga breath or maybe keeping your awareness on your natural breath, your body, the ground beneath you, stepping into this present moment. invite you in a moment to join me for some mindful movement. But remember, at any time, the choice is yours how much movement you do. You might decide that resting and being still is what you need this morning. So please do listen to your body and see what feels right for you. So if you are lying on your back, if you would like to begin to move, you could start to bring your knees towards your chest. Hands could stay resting where they are, or you could bring your hands to your knees or to the backs of your knees, perhaps starting to make little circles with your knees in one direction. Just let it be slow. So you might be circling one way and then back the other way. Welcome, Cheryl. And then you could keep going with these little circles, or perhaps pausing with your knees hugging in. So for this next one, you could be holding on to your shins, or if it's possible for you, you could try wrapping your arms around your legs. Taking a nice deep breath in. When you're ready to exhale, try lifting your head so you're bringing your forehead a little bit closer in towards your knees. Your chin comes in towards your chest. And then slowly releasing your head back down to the floor. Taking another breath in. And with an exhale, if you wish, lifting up, pausing. And then slowly releasing, taking another breath in. And perhaps just one more, following your breath. So you're lifting with your exhale. And lowering back down from there, letting your head and your shoulders come down to rest. So let's bring the soles of the feet back down and taking the feet a little bit wider than your hips. So if you're on a yoga mat, you might be to the edges of your mat or slightly wider, knees point up. You could take the arms out to the sides. Take a nice deep breath in to begin, and when you're ready to exhale, try dropping your knees to one side. Notice the other side of your pelvis and your waist lifting up away from the floor. When you're ready to breathe in, slowly find your way back to the center. And then with the exhale, taking the twist to the second side, the other half of your pelvis lifting up. The inhale slowly bringing you back. So you could continue moving in this way, so you're following your breath, perhaps turning your head the opposite way each time. Or if you prefer to pause, you might like to pause in the twist and take a few breaths as you pause. So whether you're holding the twist, or whether you're moving, perhaps following your breath. Gradually find your way back to the center. You might like to hug your knees in from here. You might like to make little circles again, one way then the other, or you could begin to rock yourself from side to side. Your whole body rocking one side to the other, noticing where your body is connecting to the ground as you move. So you might like to roll yourself all the way onto one side if you'd like to make your way up to sitting. If you prefer to stay lying down, that's fine too. If you're coming up to sitting, that could be in a cross-legged position, or you could be with your legs stretched out in front. Actually, let's stretch the legs out in front and bring some movement into the ankle joints and the wrist joints. So if you lift your arms in front, keep your shoulders relaxed, sitting up tall on your sitting bones. So you might start the circle in the wrist joints first, and then once that's flowing easily, circle into your ankle joints at the same time. That's it, lovely. Notice if you're kind of trying to see what's going on, you might choose to close your eyes instead, and notice if you can tune in more to the felt sense that way by closing your eyes. Whichever way you're circling, perhaps reversing. And whenever you're ready, releasing your arms down. So next I'll invite you to bring the soles of your feet to join. Soles of the feet coming together. Don't worry too much if your knees are kind of up here. Holding on your ankles, your feet, your toes. Pressing your sitting bones down as though you're trying to press the floor away from you and lifting up through the crown of your head. So your first option might be to simply stay here in stillness. If you notice any tension happening around your hips, see if you can soften and release that tension. Even if you're able to soften just 5 or 10% more, you may notice that without even trying, your knees will start to drop a little bit further down. Another option could be to fold forwards from here. So you might like to bring your face a little bit closer towards your toes, and that might intensify the stretch. Or another option, you might like to rock from one sitting bone to the other. If you're rocking, it might just be a small movement, one sitting bone to the other, or you might choose to bring your knee right down towards the floor. And whichever movement you've chosen, or if you're in stillness, coming back from there and bringing your hands to the floor behind you. So I'll turn this way, and just so you can see me better. So you might walk your hands back a little way. You might have your fingertips pointing in, or you could turn your hands around the other way if that feels better. If you start with your elbows bent, you're welcome to stay in this butterfly pose, or you could stretch your legs out in front, or you could cross your legs. So as you press your hands into the floor, maybe starting to straighten through your arms as you lift your sternum. Lifting your sternum, lifting your heart space. Maybe you can notice your shoulder blades starting to draw in towards each other. Feel that you're creating space in between the front of your rib cage. Maybe even space in the solar plexus area just beneath your rib cage. You could be gazing forward, or if you'd like, you could gently tilt your head back. You might feel a stretch then through the front of your neck. Noticing whereabouts you can feel the sensation of your breath. And gradually, if you have tilted your head back, releasing your head so you're looking forwards, bend your elbows again, press down to walk your hands back in, and then I'll invite you to take a few circles through your shoulders, nice and slow. Or another option could be to bring your hands to your shoulders and then circle your elbows in the air. Circling one way, and perhaps try going the other way as well. Okay, so I'll invite you now to lie yourself right down on your side. Making an L shape with your legs, knees and feet stacked on top of each other. You could be resting your head in your hand, or you can extend that lower arm to rest your head, or you could use a cushion beneath your head. So perhaps from here you could try lifting your knee, your top knee, to point towards the ceiling. You could pause there, or perhaps starting to make circles. Small or large circles. Slow and smooth movement. Moving from your hip joint. You don't have to try and hold your pelvis still. Your pelvis will most likely be moving a little bit as you circle. Try going the opposite way if you like. And whether you'd like to continue with the circling, or you could pause with your knee pointing up. Try flexing your foot. Maybe from there you could try extending your leg. So you're pressing your heel up towards the sky, toes drawing in. Now if you prefer, or if it just feels better, keep the knee bent. Either way is fine, or you might like to move between the two. Another option, you might, if you're feeling balanced, you might reach your fingertips towards your toes, maybe finding your toes. Don't push it, just reach and see what happens. Whenever you're ready, hand coming back down, lower your foot, bring your leg back down and pause. So we'll move that onto the second side. So you could roll yourself to your back and roll yourself over to your next side, or change ends. So getting yourself comfortable, wriggling a bit until you're feeling that you'll be stable. Top knee lifting. Pointing that top knee up, and you might pause there, or you might start to make circles, small or large, or anywhere in between. Just exploring that movement from your hip joint. See how that's feeling, tuning into the felt sense of your body. And then, of course, you could try going the other way too. You could continue circling, or pause with your knee pointing up. Try flexing your foot, and from there, if you want to, extending that leg so you're pressing your heel upwards, or whether you want to keep your knee bent, or whether you're moving between straightening and bending. Again, if you'd like to, reaching towards your toes. Whether or not you'll find your toes, don't be too attached to that. Just see if that's accessible for you. Lowering your hand. And in your own time, lower your foot. Bring that leg back down. Pause for a moment. And then you might like to roll yourself onto your belly. And once you've rolled yourself over, you could come into lizard pose, resting your forehead down on your hands, or you could move straight into child's pose if you prefer. So if you're moving to child's pose, press down into your hands. Knees could be together or knees could be out to the sides, finding a place to rest your forehead. And perhaps closing your eyes. So you might become aware once again of the places where your body is feeling that connection with the ground. Something that we can pretty much always count on is having the ground beneath us. So you're welcome to stay in child's pose, or maybe you're still in lizard pose. You're welcome to stay where you are if you know more stillness is what you need. Or otherwise, gently making your way up. If you're coming up, come to a kneeling position so you're right up on your knees. If you're using a chair, you can just have that in front of you. Or you could be using blocks, or you could simply be using the floor. I'll show the variations. So we're going to work with some lunges here, if you'd like to. So you could step your left foot forwards. If you are using a chair, just have it so it's kind of at the front, just in front of that front foot. Or if you have blocks, you could have them just at the front of your foot there. So notice I have my foot a little bit further out than my knee. And then you could start by bringing your hands to that front thigh, that left thigh, shoulders soft. Perhaps your navel center lightly hugging in towards your spine, and feel that the crown of your head is lifting up towards the sky. Taking a breath in, and then as you breathe out, moving into the lunge, so you're lowering your hips. Hands could come to your chair or to your blocks, or maybe hands come right to your mat. And then you might decide to stay in your lunge, or you could bring some movement in here, moving back, pressing your sitting bones away, maybe straightening through that left leg, or moving forwards. You could be moving forwards and back, or you could be pausing in the lunge. So you might decide to stay with this movement, or if you'd like to pause in the lunge, letting the hips drop towards the floor. From here, you could try reaching your left arm out in front. Maybe you have your other hand on your chair or your block, that's fine too. Left arm reaches forwards, and then with an inhalation, slowly lifting that arm up, maybe gazing up towards your fingertips. Creating space through that left side of your body, breathing easily. When you're ready to release, you might take that arm behind to complete the circle. And hand comes back to your chair or your blocks or the floor. So pressing back from there. And we're going to step that left knee back in and move to the next side. So right foot steps forwards. And again, if you would like to begin with your hands on your thigh, just to create that stability, thinking of your navel center, gently drawing in, crown of your head lifting, shoulders soft. Taking a breath in as you lift up. As you exhale, begin to lower the pelvis and the hips Into the lunge, hands could come to your chair or your blocks or the floor. So I actually have my hands to the inside of my foot, but you could have your hand to the outside of your foot if you want to. And if you'd like to, you could be moving forwards and back. Maybe extending through that right leg. Or you could simply hold the pose for the lunge. And then if you'd like to move into the twist, holding that lunge position, right arm reaches forwards this time. So it's the same arm as the foot that's forward. So if you have your right foot forward, then you'd be reaching your right arm forwards, reaching out through your fingertips. And then with an inhalation, slowly lifting that arm up, reaching towards the sky, gazing up if that feels okay, breathing easily. Creating some space through that right side of your body. When you're ready to release the pose, then taking the arm behind, completing the circle. Hand comes back to your chair or your blocks or the floor. Pressing back from there. Let's step that knee back in. And you could come to a kneeling position, or you could bring your legs out in front and perhaps taking a few more shoulder circles. Or another option could be to bring your hands to your shoulders and circle your elbows in the air. Perhaps going one way and then the other. You could keep going with those shoulder circles, or if you'd like some neck stretches, then take a breath in, lifting up through the crown of your head. Slowly turn your head to one side. You could pause there, or maybe drawing tiny circles in the air with the tip of your nose. If you are circling the tip of your nose in the air, try going the other way too. And finding your way back to center. Taking another breath in, lifting up through the crown of your head. As you exhale, turn to your next side. And maybe pausing there or drawing tiny circles with the tip of your nose. One way and then the other. And slowly returning back to face forwards. And just one more, if you'd like to, interlace your fingers in front. Try pressing your palms forwards. So perhaps you're straightening through your arms as you press your palms forwards, and then you might feel like a sense of widening in your upper back, in between your shoulder blades. Hold it there for a moment. Remember to breathe. When you're ready to next breathe in, try lifting your arms so palms face towards the sky. Then with an exhale, releasing your arms slowly out to the sides and down. Okay, so it's time for us to get ready for Yoga Nidra. So you may like to lie yourself down with some blankets over top. You might have a bolster or cushions for beneath your knees. You could use your chair and have your legs elevated up on your chair. If you do like that pose with your legs elevated up on a chair, I recommend having a blanket to wrap around your legs and another blanket for over your chest and your belly. If you are using an eye pillow, have that nearby so you'll be able to pop that over your eyes once you're all settled. If you took your socks off like me, you might want to pop them back on now. It's a bit of a chilly morning, isn't it? Chilly but sunny. Take your time to get yourself all settled. You might like to gently sway your head one side to the other once you're lying down. Just checking that you feel warm enough. If you need to go and grab an extra blanket, give yourself that extra TLC. Making sure that you'll be warm and comfortable. And once you are feeling settled, see if you can find that place where you can rest in stillness. However, if you do need to move, that's totally okay. If you need to adjust your position or find a different position that you'll be more comfortable, that's totally okay. However, the more that you're able to allow yourself to be still, most likely the more deeper you will go into relaxation. Bringing your awareness back to the natural flow of your breath. Notice breath traveling into your body and breath traveling out of your body. You may even like to imagine that your breath is traveling in at the crown of your head and then traveling all the way down right through the center of your body and right down into your toes. And then when you exhale, you're exhaling from your toes all the way back up through the center of your body and then out through the crown. Each time you breathe in, that breath, that prana is filling your entire body. And it's flowing all the way back, up and out through the crown of your head. I'm going to guide you to bring your awareness into different areas of your body. And as I mention each area, focusing your awareness there and inviting in a feeling of softness. Beginning with your left toes. And right toes. Right foot. Left foot. Left ankle. Right ankle. Right knee. Left knee. Left hip. Right right hip, the right side of your pelvis, the left side of your pelvis, left side of your waist, right side of your waist, right side of your rib cage, the left side of your rib cage, left armpit, right armpit, right shoulder and shoulder blade, left shoulder and shoulder blade, left elbow, right elbow, right hand and fingers and thumb, left hand and fingers and thumb, left side of your neck, right side of your neck, right half of your jaw, left half of your jaw, left ear, right ear, right nostril, left nostril, left eye, right eye, right temple, left temple, the whole of the left half of your head, and the whole of the right half of your head. Now bringing your awareness to the crown of your head. The whole of the left half of your body. and the whole of the right half of your body. Left and right together. The whole of the back of your body. The whole of the front of your body. Front and back together. The whole of the outside of your body. Awareness of the whole of the outside. And the whole of the inside of your body. Awareness of the whole of the inside. Outside and inside together. The whole of your body as one. Awareness of the whole of your body. The whole of your body from the crown of your head down into your fingertips, right down into your toes. Allowing the whole of your body to completely relax. And now we come to visualization of colors. As I mention each color, you may wish to visualize that color like a light that fills up the whole of the inside of your body. Starting with the color red. The color orange. The color yellow. The color green. The color blue. The color indigo. The color violet. visualize a beautiful white light. Letting that white light flow through your entire body. Letting that white light take with it a feeling of softness, peace, and harmony. Bringing softness and peace and harmony to all parts of your being. You may wish to silently repeat the following words to yourself. I am awake. I am aware. I welcome every perception as a messenger, guiding me home to my true self. I am awake. I am aware. I welcome every perception as a messenger, guiding me home to my true self. You may have become aware of the subtle feeling of aliveness inside your body. Perhaps continuing to allow the white light to stream right through your whole body. And that feeling of aliveness is becoming aware of your life energy, your prana. You may decide to stay right where you are, and you may decide to stay in stillness. Or if you would like to begin to move, just start with very soft and gentle movements, maybe wriggling your fingers or your toes or your ankles or your wrists. Maybe reaching the arms up overhead, maybe reaching out through the sides of your body. Or any other gentle movement, or if you choose to stay in stillness. And only if you prefer to come to a seated position, you could begin to roll to one side and take your time from there to find your way to sitting. Whether you choose to stay lying down or whether you choose to come up to sitting, make sure you're still warm. You might like to bring the palms of your hands to somehow connect with your body. Take a moment to check in with how you're feeling on the inside. You could say again to yourself silently, I am awake, I am aware, I welcome every perception as a messenger, guiding me home to my true self. You could keep your hands resting where they are, or if you prefer, you could join your palms together at your heart center, softly bowing your head. And take a moment to say thank you to yourself for this gift of your time and this gift of your yoga practice, caring for your own well-being. Letting gratitude flow into your heart space. And from there, letting that feeling of gratitude shine outwards in all directions. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have enjoyed today's session. Namaste.